What was the dumbest thing you ever did to try and impress a girl or guy? I was in New Zealand and was going to a beach party with some girls from the hostel I was staying at. To get to the party, you needed to take a $2 ferry across the inlet, which was about 1 kilometer wide. I decided to swim it to impress the ladies. About halfway through, I realized that I'm slowly being swept out to sea and I'm losing strength. I'm not sure how, but eventually I made it to the other shore, about 100 meters away from the pier. The ferry had docked about 2 to 3 minutes before me, and I just nonchalantly walked over to meet the girls, as if I hadn't swum against the current too near exhaustion, and was swept out to sea. Good side. It worked, and I ended up hooking up with one of the ladies' bad side. The $2 was for a round trip, and I still had to pay $2 to get back once the party was over. I tried to do a backflip. I've never actually done a backflip before, not even on a trampoline. I actually would up just jumping backward and hitting my head hard on the ground, and then I woke up and threw up a bunch. If she ever had a thing for me, which all my friends said she did, it was gone that day. For everyone worried, I did wind up going to a doctor. He said I was an idiot, but that it was a minor concussion and not to worry unless more symptoms started happening, which they didn't. I was abroad in the Dominican Republic. They had a dance competition on a stage, anyone could enter, and it had around 200 people watching. I was about 10 and spotted a cute girl who must have been around 14 to 15. So obviously, I decided the best way to get her attention was to get up on stage and dance my heart out. Cue 3 minutes of awkward shuffling, while maintaining constant eye contact with that girl, and horrified looks from my parents. The coordinator cut me off early by pretending the speaker stopped working. I got a pity clap. When I was a teen, I took taekwondo classes, and there were 2 beautiful girls around my age. They liked to go and have a smoke behind them all before class, and I wanted to be cool and impress them, so I took up smoking too. It was about 2 weeks in when one girl came to class early, so I went and had a smoke with her. Then the next girl came in and wanted to have a smoke, so I went and had another one with her. When we came back, we started doing our warm-up laps, and I felt very queasy. I had to throw up, so ran outside, right next to the Dairy Queen. I threw up all over the glass wall where the cashiers and several people eating looked on in horror. On a 4th of July date after going out to dinner, I took her out on the lake in a canoe to watch the fireworks. It was awesome. Young macho me, of course, turned down her offer of help with a large canoe, and I manhandled that thing like it was nothing. Put her in it while it was on the grass and continued manhandling it to show off just how strong I was. The next morning, I had to call into work sick because my back muscles were so strained, I couldn't get out of bed. My back was sore for over a week. Did it work? Don't kiss and tell is a good rule to live by. It allows respect for those you date and yourself. Tried to raise her scooter down the steepest hill around. Crashed into the back of a funeral hearse and shattered the back window. There was a body inside, and the family was outside waiting to either go to the cemetery or take the coffin inside. I got up, covered in blood and glass, grabbed my scooter, and hobbled away to the nearest alleyway. Not really dumb, but kinda funny to look back on now. I wasn't good at sports, but I was fairly quick, so I joined the track team to impress a girl. Turns out the girl wasn't impressed by runners, but I did end up going to state in the 100 meters dash and placing second. I also ended up getting a scholarship for the track, so it was sort of a win, I guess. I just realized my entire school choice or career path has been a result of trying to impress a girl. When I was 15, I dropped a heavy book on my head. It was this old dictionary. A single volume that was easily 8 thick and probably weighed 15 pounds. I lay down on the floor, held it over my head with my arms fully extended, and dropped it a foot and a half right onto my forehead. I guess I thought it would show how tough I was. I was not tough. It sort of worked because I dated her until my freshman year of college. But that was luckily in spite of my actions and not because of them. Dating a gymnast in high school. We go to a park, and I see parallel bars that are designed for stretching, but I'm convinced I can do a handstand on them because I'm awesome. She keeps insisting they are too far apart, but I don't listen. Attempt said handstand, they were indeed too far apart, so I collapsed down, jamming my chest, past my hands, and tearing all the ligaments, holding my chest muscles to my breastbone. Good times were not had later or for a long while after. My first serious girlfriend is home alone, and I think this might be the day I get off of the second base. I'm all 13, hormone-addled, and obviously confident this girl is the love of my life. It's midsummer and I know I can bike the 3-ish miles pretty quickly. I tell my parents I'm going to see my friend right around the block. They warn me that a thunderstorm is rolling in, and I tell them it takes no time to get there. 10 minutes later, I'm only halfway there, terrified, crying, pedaling as hard as I can to go downhill against the wind. My all-metal framed BMX knockoff was huffy, doing its best to not get hit with lightning, and fuse me to its shiny silver exterior forever. 30 minutes after that, I pull into her garage and thank God that all the rain has hidden the fact I've been ugly sobbing the entire way. Her parents then pull in as I'm literally hunched over trying to catch my breath. I tell them this was the only house I knew on the street, and it would have been life-threatening to bike the rest of the way home in this storm. They smile, probably knowing it was a lie, and treated me to a nice dinner. It ends with a very awkward drive home with her father, my bike in the back of his truck. I was alone in a park in front of my house. I was standing by the monkey bars just fooling around. I was around 10 at the time. I see a group of around 5 girls cycling toward me, all about 16 years old. Thinking I can impress them, I jump on the monkey bar, still looking at them to show off. Turns out, completely missed the bars, and fell from a 6 feet wooden playground flat on my face. Teeth through my lip, crying and everything. They ran over, asked me where I lived, and carried me home. They were really sweet about it, but it was pretty embarrassing for me. I actually got one. I was 14, totally and fully in love with this girl from my class. Got to add, we kinda flirted for a whole year but got nowhere. She was the kind of girl who likes attention, so you can imagine how she kept me hooked up, knowing I had no chance. Since it was getting close to Valentine's Day, I decided I was going to impress her and make her mine, by learning how to play guitar and all her favorite songs. A whole week practicing like a madman and actually learned 2 songs I knew she loved. So fully prepared and convinced I'd hit jackpot, on the 14th I go to her house, call her out, telling her I had a surprise. She pops her head out of the door, sees me and my guitar, and noped out of there, telling me to leave. Hey, at least I now know how to play guitar. Took my friend to the driving range, and she asked if her insanely hot friend could come as well. Said friend mentioned she's never hit a golf ball before, so I'm thinking jackpot, I've got a way into talking to this girl, and an excuse to ask her back out one-on-one if that goes well. Get to the range. Hit a couple of warm-up shots while she's getting her clubs rented, and she takes the spot next to me. Decide really to crush this ball to impress her and give the swing everything I've got. Missed the ball and clipped the ground, and broke the club right off the pole. It proceeds to bounce back and smack me in the face, and give me a solid shiner, all while she's watching. In my sophomore year of high school, I asked a girl out on Valentine's Day by having red, pink, and white carnations delivered to her homeroom. I walked by her homeroom, and my buddy gave me a negative headshake. Already disappointed, she came out and told me she had a boyfriend and asked me if understood. She kept on repeating, "Do you understand?" repeatedly. In retrospect, I probably had the deer in headlights look on my face. The worst part was that I was pretty confident about her saying yes, and had told all my friends about it. The train ride home that afternoon was pure hell, as my friends razzed me non-stop for the entire ride. In my defense, she had invited me to her birthday party a few weeks before and her boyfriend wasn't there, and he wasn't brought up at all. So yeah. To say I was gun shy after that would be a major understatement. I hoarded a bunch of stuffed animals I won at a local arcade over the summer for this girl I really liked. One night, I thought, tonight's the night. I'm going to surprise my crush with all these stuffed animals, and she's going to fall in love with me. So, I threw them in a white garbage bag, walked 2 miles down the road to her house during sunset, and knocked on her door. She answered the door while I concealed the bag of goodies behind my back. She awkwardly asked what I was doing at her house, and I revealed the surprise. She slowly grabbed the bag from me, looked inside it, and gave me an awkward thanks while closing the door. Right then and there, I realized I miscalculated the gesture and probably looked like a huge creepy fuck. I power walked back home, and to this day, I still think about it from time to time. I think it's my brain's way of punishing me eternally for putting it through that whole thing. I'm loaded with stupid stories like this one because I am a huge romantic, and I tend to get bitten in the ass in one way or another, because I just don't see clearly when I'm in the haze of being in love. Here's another one. Arguably more embarrassing. So, to start, I'm a hairy guy. My chest and back are just plagued with hair. It's bad. Anyway, about 3 years ago, I had a huge crush on a girl. I had been telling my best friend this girl was literally perfection in my eyes. Beautiful, smart, hilarious, and down to earth. But I couldn't find a way to ask this girl to hang out with me without becoming awkward and making a fool of myself. I mean, I turned into a bumbling fool whenever I just said hi to her or made small talk, so how in the hell am I supposed to ask her out? What was I going to do? It hit me, though. This girl does waxing as a side job, and I'm a hairy guy. It's perfect, right? What if I make up an excuse for her to wax me? So, one day, I sent her a text and make up a reason as to why I needed my chest and back waxed. She, of course, accepts the job, and next thing you know, I'm at her house on my back shirtless. As she's applying the hot wax to my chest, it starts to hit me this probably wasn't the best way to get her to hang out with me. She applies the strip and drips. Out comes a chunk of chest hair. I am not kidding when I say that hurt. I'm doing my best not to show pain, but it's damn near impossible. My face is giving it all away, and she's having a blast with it. Of course, I want to tell her, you know what, forget it. This isn't for me. But I can't. I put myself in this situation just to spend time with her, and I can't bitch out now. So, I take it. My chest hair and back hair are completely gone. By the end of it, I was filled with regret, bled a little, and was $50 lighter. I left a broken, hairless man, and I realized how absolutely desperate I was to spend time with her. I took a wax of my chest and back for that girl, but happy ending to all this, we're currently engaged, and we wed later this year. She loves to hold this story over my head because she finds it adorable. I took a beating just so I can spend time with her. Mildly embarrassing, but I take it because it makes her smile. My time at church camp. When I was in 6th grade, my parents talked me into going to a week-long church camp I knew of, but didn't know personally any of the kids going, but they sold me that everyone would praise Jesus, ride horses, and have a good time. I decided to go. It was like a 6-hour drive in one of those big white vans. Quickly everyone started whipping out their CD cases and exchanging music, and I instantly was like fuck. I only had 2 CDs. Britney Spears' Baby One More Time and Everclear. I was a really weird kid. Everyone was trying to talk to me about music, and I had honestly never heard of any of the bands they were talking about. I just wanted to jam some Britney to myself. So naturally, I went the elitist route, said I had all of that music, and I was listening to some new underground private shit they hadn't heard of. Once we get to camp, all I'm thinking is let's find some friends quick because I can't talk to these kids anymore. I go to the pool and make some friends with a few older kids. There were 3 girls, 2 guys, and me. They were all in 8th grade, so obviously, they were really cool. Plus, I thought the girls were really hot. I figured this would be the best time, if any, to get my first kiss. We decided to leave the pool and walk around the camp, so we all had to have a group meetup. The cabins were separated by grade, so they said they would walk by the 6th grade cabin and pick me up. The first thing I do is put on my freshest outfit. Great time to break out my fresh white t-shirt. Can't forget my jean shorts. This was pre-faded denim, so this was the industrial bright blue jean shorts. It's summer in Texas, so I might as well top the outfit off with knee-high white socks. And, of course, Doc Martens. I look like a weird redneck lumberjack. So, I walk out and they're kind of like, what the fuck, but whatever. It's kiss time. We start walking and one of the older guys farts and all the girls laugh. Boom. Found mine in. My friend Travis and I have been making fart jokes for quite some time, so I'm up to speed on this area of humor. Bam, the other guy farts, and all the girls laugh even harder. Got them. Now I'm thinking, all I have to do is drop the biggest fart, and literally the girls are going to laugh so hard they're going to each kiss me one by one. I start clenching and squeezing my stomach as hard as I can. I'm walking like a newborn deer. Then I feel it. Got a big one ready. So, instead of just dropping it out and laughing, I wanted to make a big show about it. I run in front of the small group, squat down, turn just my head around, and forcefully shit myself. This was all-out diarrhea. If you didn't know this before, early 90s denim was the least forgiving fabric in the world. Everyone knew I shit. It's running down my leg, being soaked up by my knee-high socks. Instantly, I just react and start running. Kicking up shit like mud off a truck. I've never been to this camp before, so I'm just running for anything. I find a bathroom and toss the socks, boxers, and shirt, but I couldn't drop the jorts. I can't just walk across the church camp naked. Plus, at this point, I'm thinking maybe they didn't really see it. I was really confident in my speed at the time, so I was thinking I could say that's my thing. I drop giant farts and run before the smell catches me. Come to find out, not only were the 5 people I shit in front of outside the bathroom waiting for me, but there were like 25 kids. Instantly, I just ran in my docs and jorts combo back to the cabin I was staying in with the other kids chazzing me and yelling, "Shit pants." I ran to my bed to find all the music nerds I drove up with going through my CD case. It only has the 2 CDs. They're like, what the fuck? Thought you had tons of secret music, bro. Wait, did you shit your pants? So yeah, that was about 4 hours into a week-long trip. I really thought farting would impress these girls. I lost my favorite pair of jorts and a bit of my pride that day.